Okay guys, I'm going to shoot a quick video of this Scout, and then I'm going to shoot this Jeep. I'm going to make it brief on the Scout because, and I'm going to say this right up front, if you have to ask me how much, you're not really in the market for one. Anybody who's in the market for one, a decent one, knows what they're bringing, and I'm not going to play games. I'll just ignore you. So if you want to think, if you want to play the game, play the game. Best thing to do is ask me for my phone number, and we'll talk. I'm not going to play texty text back and forth on these. They're higher dollar vehicles, and I keep getting these people. And I guess I'm going to throw this out there real quick too. Almost anything I ever have anymore, anything is less than probably 13, 14 grand. Average price nowadays seems to have moved up to the 20, 25 range. Every once in a while I'll have something in that 13, 14, 15 range. It's not very often anymore. It's just too hard to find anything decent for that. Okay, so let's get to the Scout. It is a 79. I had some body work repaired on the quarters. I have pictures of this thing with the motor completely torn down to nothing and the body taken apart at a body shop, and it was completely redone 5 years ago. The guy lived in a condo building with underground parking, and I guess I'm thinking it's the work that they didn't do, that they didn't touch, is what might have come apart later. It was on both quarters, very little on the rocker and stuff. So I had that repaired at a body shop. I did not have them make it perfect. I did not have them fix a couple of other things that exist on the vehicle. So again, it's not perfect, but it's very, very nice. And it's it's probably better than the gray one I just sold. Probably. I'm going to think that it might be. So moving on, I did not have, these Scouts are notorious for this little crack on right here on the tailgates. I did not have that fixed. I wasn't tearing it apart for all that. So basically this thing was frame off restored 5 years ago. The motor was completely rebuilt, brake line, shocks, exhaust. They went through the whole thing. So the carburetor's new, the radiator's new, brake line, shocks. The carburetor's newer than the rest of it. I think he had to put a second carburetor on there. The rest of it is all, we're going to go with 5 years old. So the thing has great curb appeal. As much as I love the gray one and the condition of the gray one, I think this one's a little bit cooler looking to me, just because I really dig the white grille and the red. I love Scouts red or orange. I like them that way. It's the way I've painted most of mine. I've painted one a real cool green, and I painted one the grayish silver. I generally paint them red or orange. That's kind of my favorite for them. So the gauges work. The guy actually was driving this thing. He lived on the border of one state to another, and he drove it from the one state to the other frequently. So if you look at the bottoms of the doors, you can see there was a little work in that rocker. I wasn't cutting into that right now. That'll probably outlive me, so unless somebody starts wheeling it and driving it in the salt every day. The radio works. All the gauges work. The speedometer works. Like I said, he made as good of a driver as he could out of it. Just a super, super cool Scout. I'll go ahead and, the motor's probably dirty because they generally don't detail them after they sit there at the body shop. So I guess, surprise, we'll see. It's not as bad as it could be, but anyways. So like I said, most everything was done 5 years ago. I think he had said he had to put a second carburetor on there. And maybe he rebuilt the first one. It didn't work out so well. So, anyways, the radiator looks a little older than 5 years to me. But like I said, if you look, it was very weird. I don't know, all the leaf springs were new back then too, and braided brake lines. But it's very weird, like I said, what happened to it. And it's, like I said, it got a lot of, I guess from the dampness, it affected the stuff that wasn't redone and painted well enough, I guess. So anyways, but you can see, the rubber drain plugs were even still, trying to get that to focus. There it is, maybe. Anyways, the rubber drain plugs were still in there. So as far as I can tell, the only thing underneath that was affected by it is this body brace underneath there. Not where it mounts to the actual rubber mount, but out a little farther, kind of in the middle area. So you could actually, you can see it right there. You could actually fix that without, I think, a whole lot of work. This one's actually in great shape. Like I said, it's very weird the way it affected it, but the, you can see it's just a neat old Scout. Let's see if I can get there. You can see the floors actually look pretty good. All the bracing up in here. So it just basically, I'm gonna put a coat of paint on the frame and axles again, because from sitting in that damp garage, the paint, didn't last. So there you go. Obviously has a matching spare, has a brand new soft top. I don't really know what much more to say about this one. I'll fire it up if you want to hear it. Oh, the spare tire rack's pretty cool. This thing actually spins. It spins to come open. I thought that was pretty cool. I've seen a lot of different styles of these. I have not seen that style that spins like that. You guys may have seen it, but I don't. I've seen all kinds of different styles, but I've never seen that style. So the e-brake works, but could use some adjusting. Not much to hear, but kind of quiet actually for having two aftermarket mufflers on it. So anyways, there you go. 1979 Scout. Obviously he replaced the front suspension parts when he had it apart. 1979 Scout. I will take some still pictures and put a still ad on there with the price in it. So, but best to call me. My number 636-222-4771. 636-222-4771. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And for anybody local watching these, I'm by appointment only. I set up appointments. Usually I'm running all over the place, moving things around. I work by myself, so I generally, and with all the COVID nonsense and stuff, like I said, we're by appointment only. So you have my phone number. The vehicle's located in St. Genevieve, Missouri. I'll say this again. If it's in your area, it's probably because we deliver there. Other people take my ads, other companies, and put my ads in other places, so I can't control that. But if I'm advertising it in your neighborhood, it's because I'll deliver it there. Usually anywhere from roughly Wisconsin, Florida, South Carolina, that side of the United States, down through Kentucky, Tennessee, those areas. So out to Oklahoma, roughly that sweep there. I don't go to California, don't go to Oregon, generally don't go to Montana or the Dakotas. So that's where I'm at. Mississippi, Georgia, places like that, I'm usually in. So there you go. 1979 Scout.